Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage. We're back with the Navara NP300. I, like most of you guys, have got a trolley jack and wouldn't normally dream of using a jack included with the vehicle, but idle interest, I keep thinking, is that going to be man enough to actually do anything if I needed it at the side of the road? So we're going to try out the kit that Navara actually supply with the vehicle. Wish me luck. So first thing is the location of the kit. The Navara has a good lift up rear bench squab, which gives you some flexibility with storage. And under there you've got two Velcro closed hidey holes. In the UK vehicle you've got the first aid kit, and you've also got this black pouch which contains the tools. And then the other side you've got a scissor jack, which if you undo it or lower it, it sort of unclamps itself from its location. Pretty good location because it's not got anything to do with the load bed, which means you're likely to be able to get at it. You open up your little black pouch, and inside there are the tools that you use to work the jack, spare wheel, get the wheel off, etc, etc. All black powder coated steel stuff, not too bad. 3 extension rods with square sections and sockets. One of them has a T section on the end, which is used for jacking, and a wheel brace has a flattened section with a square hole pierced through it. That's used to rotate the extension rod. There's also like a screwdriver end on it, which I'm imagining is for getting off wheel trims. If you had a wheel trimmed vehicle, not sure. Not found a use for it yet, but it means it hurts the ends of your hands when you're doing this and trying to lever going off purchase to undo the nuts. It's always very tempting to use an extension bar to undo and do up wheel nuts. The negative of that is you do them up with an extension, your wheel brace is what you've got in the field, it might not be long enough. Puzzle nut, going UK spec vehicle to lock one of the wheel nuts. Always a bugbear I find, but they're not located in a toolkit anywhere. It just comes in a plastic bag inside the warranty folder. Puzzle nut works fine, but it's not magnetic and it doesn't engage very deeply with the nut, so I can imagine it's quite easy to damage the puzzle part of that over time. Okay, jack, slide it under. You've got to find your jack location point. Now there's an arrow embossed into the chassis, shows you the right location, and there's basically a little curved section on the bottom of the chassis has been welded on to give some sort of location in the dish at the top of the jack. Jacking point itself, yeah, easy enough to locate because of the arrow, but really far underneath the vehicle because of the running boards and obviously chassis construction. The jacking point doesn't really locate on top of the jack. The semicircular welded on section just means it's not going to slip off sideways, but it's not very positive. The jack is actually a lot better than I anticipated when I saw it was a scissor jack. I thought, crikey, this is going to be really hard work on such a heavy vehicle that I've got to lift so far. But I've got to say, a combination of it being of a decent design and size plus brand new lifts the vehicle nice and easily. So you put the extension piece with the T on the end into your jack, fit the pierced square section on your wheel brace through the square end. Being careful not to stab yourself with that weird screwdriver end on it, and eventually you get yourself into the right position so that it's not quite so ugly a process. There we go. Support it with one hand, turn it with the other. That seems to work quite nicely. it's actually quite an easy lift. Really surprised. So obviously I've edited this, but it took all of about 30 seconds to get the tyre clear of the driveway. So you've got to have a spare wheel in order to make it worth taking a wheel off. I'm going to show you putting it back because it's clearer to see how things work and you can see it all off. So we've got this chain hanging from the bottom of the car, which goes up to a winch. There it is. There's a white cup, which is your target for pushing the rod into. And you can see that silver piece is actually an adapter on the end of the same rods with the T-piece you used to jack the vehicle up. The adapter again doesn't really have a home. That lives in a plastic bag in my glove box with the spare wheel nuts and the puzzle nut drive. So again, it's a fine idea. It means that you've got to have that adapter to be able to work the winch. It's got a puzzle end on it, but it should have a home. I don't like it when things are just loose. You want to put the wheel on, then put the end of the chain through the centre of the wheel. Top tip, move the wheel around under the chain until you see the chain sits clear in the middle of the wheel. That way you'll know it's centred over it. If you don't do that, then the wheel's going to pull up at a funny angle. Wind the handle and you see the winch chain doing the lifting. Once it gets purchased, there it is. And despite looks, again, this is pretty easy. It's really good. The negative of it is the wheel is a long way under the vehicle, and I'm imagining if you're side of the road, dragging that out from underneath is going to be hard work. Pushing it back underneath to load it is hard work. When it gets to the top, it just makes contact with the chassis, but it doesn't actually clamp in any way. It just sits there. It seems to work quite effectively. So, a quick summary. The Jack I give 7 out of 10. Works a lot better than I imagine. Would be nice to see a side jack. The jacking point serves its purpose, but no more than that. The wheel brace as a wheel brace is pointy and they've got a funny angle on it. The locking nuts work, but they don't have a home. The spare wheel lift works much better than you anticipate. The spare wheel adapter should have a home. Tool storage is really good, and overall I'm very satisfied with the kit they've supplied, which surprises me.